Welcome to Breaking the Chain. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Cody.
And we got like a small amount of topics today. Like we have the Sage event that happened in Japan, I think at least. And we got a lot of talk about like Sage, the decks, the battle harden coming up, some bands that might be needed, and all that other kind of stuff. So, you ready to dive in? How was your week?
Yeah, my week is good. I didn't do a ton of Flesh and Blood per se, but I did do some Flesh and Blood shopping. Uh, there was the Black Friday pack
Hmm.
that was happening. And by the way, we're recording this on Sunday morning, November 30th, outside of our usual time. So Black Friday has happened, or at least it's been happening all month, really. But for, for Flesh and Blood reasons, it happened on Friday. And I guess like a good handful of stores didn't get their Black Friday packs, and they just didn't either didn't know why or it was delayed or something. So
Oh wow.
I went to my first store and they're like, yeah, we didn't get it. But they had a buy two get one free on some booster boxes, some of them being Japanese hunted. So I had to buy some of those, and I actually pulled some gas, which is pretty cool. But then I went to another store yesterday who did have some Black Friday packs, and so I got basically my brothers went too, so I got a few of them. And I pulled some cool cards, but I don't know how I'm gonna be able to get a full play set of all the Pleiades cold foils that I want, because I got a couple of the auras, and that was already pricey enough to effectively get those ones.
Yeah. They, yeah, they seem to
Yeah.
be very, very rare.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like they're the packs are like free with a purchase, but I still had to buy packs that I didn't quite need to get
Hmm.
these Black Friday packs. But the card they look gorgeous. I got the Marvel Pitfire hero, which is pretty
Oh
cool.
really?
I also bought a Smash Palace pack set to get a Black Friday pack, because I also kind of wanted a Smash Palace set. I've heard really good things about it, and
Mhm.
I'm probably gonna play with my brothers soon. Maybe around Christmas time, I'll play with them. But yeah, so I took advantage of the Black Friday promotion. Basically, that was my Flesh and Blood. How about you?
Um, so I actually did a ton of Flesh and Blood. So I've been playing on Talishar. I went to two armories. It's been like a crazy week. And it's been a lot of fun. Like everyone else is like ramping down. I'm like, this is my period to ramp up. I didn't go to Worlds. I didn't do anything important, I guess. But so like first armory, I sit down on Valda and the normal. I end up winning out, which is super cool.
Nice.
And but like the thing of note was the next day, so that was on Monday. And on Tuesday, we're getting ready for the armory. And Beth, my girlfriend, wants to play Pallades. So she takes my Guardian guards, so I can't play Valda. So I take her Ira deck.
Yeah.
So I go to the armory on Ira. So like the first time I haven't played, not on like the first time I haven't played Valda in since for like 4 or 5 months. The first time I haven't played a Guardian in like a year and a half. So it
Yeah.
was like interesting. I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go. Like, I'm playing Ninja of all things, going from like hyper defensive to hyper aggressive. Like,
Yeah.
not exactly that, but like definitely playing a different play style than I'm used to. And we sit down for our first match. I play against Luke on Dio, which
Bad matchup.
I'll say it did not go well.
Yeah.
But like, so I lost that one. But then I went into my next two matches. I played into what were they? One sec. So there's Dio, Phi, and
Mm.
then Riptide. So a bunch of weird heroes.
Okay.
But played into Phi, and what was the crazy? They had a full Salt the Wound turn,
Hmm.
and like I look at my hand, I look down at what they're doing. I'm like, I just have to take this. Like their Salt the Wound's gonna be coming in for like 8 or something. They do like 5 chainwing slide, swing with Salt the Wound, get me below 10. I'm like, okay, here we go. And I do like a whirling mist blossom turn into a dual threat, getting rid of my because I'm playing the getting rid of
Edge of Autumn build.
Edge of Autumn. Yeah, I'm doing the Edge of Autumn build. So getting rid of Edge of Autumn, bringing Edge of Autumn back, swinging with Edge of Autumn, and then finishing on something like an erase face for 9.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and I end up winning that game. I do like this crazy dual threat turn, which I was like, that was sick. And then I go into Riptide, and I'm like, oh man, there's like a few helmets I can choose in this deck. Like, what do I want? And I chose Blossom, like the helmet that lets you discard a card and search for Whirling Mist Blossom and put it in your hand. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try this in this matchup. And I end up going on, or I go on to a turn where I draw a Whirling Mist Blossom. I'm able to throw it with attack reactions on top, and I get over the like Riptide's defenses. Draw 2, discard off the mask like a defensive card, get the other Whirling Mist Blossom. And I drew I think I drew another dual threat, Whirling Mist Blossom, hit. Oh, and I had the attack react that if Edge of Autumn, or yeah, if Edge of Autumn was the last attack, you get a draw another card, hit, draw 3.
Jeez.
I'm like, this is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And then played a few cards that way, and I'm like, I don't know. Ira seems pretty cool.
Era is pretty cool. I feel like that's one of the coolest heroes that just isn't quite meta, and it's a bit
Yeah.
sad. I hope she gets some stuff to make her more popular.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to say that was like against Luke, even though I got smoked, I did have one turn where he drew a lot of items. His turn 0, he drew a lot of items. And I did, what is that card called? Uh it's the 1-cost blue that attacks for 3, and if Edge of Autumn was the last attack, banish it, you may play it again.
Okay.
So against him, I was able to play that card 3 times in one turn.
That's insane.
Like Edge of Autumn, that attack, react, banishing Edge, hitting, getting Edge back, Edge of Autumn, that attack, banishing it, that attack a 3rd time. It was sick. It felt so cool. I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've done in Flesh and Blood in a very long time.
That's pretty
Not that
cool.
like, yeah, I don't know, like other heroes are kind of cool. I've been on Valda for a lot, but like that was really cool. I'm like, this is so cool. I'm doing broken things. I don't get to draw cards in Guardian. I don't get to do like all this attack reaction over top. Everything I do is just so straightforward. So to be able to like or go again, yeah, it's like doing all that was really fun. It was really funny too because like we sit down, like me and Beth sit down to play some like Pallades versus Ira just to warm her up. And we sit down, she draws her first hand and she's like, where's the go again? Because she's only ever played like Ninja and Aurora, Ira and
Yeah.
Aurora. And I'm like, you're playing Guardian. You don't have go again. She's like, oh no, I don't know if I'm gonna like this.
Wait, I can only play
She
one
ended
card
up,
a turn?
yeah. I mean, luckily there's instance, but she ended up really liking it, so that's really good. So I ended up having to purchase a few of the extra Guardian cards that I needed to make sure we can both play our Guardian deck.
I see, I see.
Yeah. Luckily I've been playing for a long time and hoard way too much. So I only needed to buy like I think it was the arm piece and like 2 or 3 cards.
Yeah,
And they weren't even that bad. It's like I have like a play set and a half of Terra Thunder. So like that card I didn't need. It was like
nice.
a Spinal and 2 other irrelevant cards. So it's nice. And now I'll have
Irrelevant
enough
cards, he
for
says.
yeah, and like with the gem packs and like people trading, I had 2 sets of Boulder Drop now, which is sick. So I
Nice.
didn't have to buy those. But yeah, it's a fun week in Flesh and Blood, and I got to play a different hero, and it makes me realize maybe I should play more heroes than Valda more than like once every 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, I know there was like a discussion about like playing different heroes on the Sunday events at things by some of the like competitive players. And I thought that was a
Mhm.
fun thought too of like switch it up. You know, sometimes you play a deck too much, and you don't get to experience everything that Flesh and Blood has by soloing into a single deck. Um, However, Dio has everything I could ever need, so I don't see myself doing that. um,
Oh yeah, her anti-fatigue tools. Like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
maybe something she's
It's just
missing.
by killing the opponent, you just don't get fatigued. Obviously.
Exactly, just hit, you know, forehead. um,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Iris seems like a lot of fun. I got the armory deck forever ago. I've like have a half built Ira deck. I just haven't had a reason to complete it, because I've been enjoying Dio way too much, and I just can't
Yeah.
justify putting Dio down right now while to play a different deck. That's where I'm at with Ira. But Ira is like my second favorite deck. It just the flexibility of it, the combos you can do, the way you can like have a sideboard to have like a switchboard game plan if you really want to. It just interests me. It's a very cool deck with how flexible it is.
Yeah, no, it's I get it, like the zeroing in on one hero. I definitely am happy to have taken a break now. Like,
Yeah.
I might look at other heroes. I think I want to try Pallades. Pallades looks like a ton of fun. And I want to, I mean, like, I might, like, I maybe rebuild my Levia deck. I haven't played her in like a year and a half.
You know what? You know what you should try after Pallades? You should try Lyath. I think you might actually like it.
I'm sure I would love it. But I, I'll have to
No,
try all the Guardians.
I don't believe you. You're like, I'm sure I would love it. I don't think you actually think that. I think you think you would hate it.
Well, I have a feeling that I'll like certain aspects, but I will hate
Yeah.
the aspect of like I look at it, it does not block.
Hold
Like
on. Why are you doing this? It's this.
I look at my hand of 5 cards, it does not block.
For the listeners, he was holding four fingers up for like the 4 card hand, and I was like, no, you gotta have the thumb out for Lyath. It's a 5 card hand.
Yeah, but it's that's gonna be interesting. But like I'm excited to try a bunch of different heroes, but at the same time, I just can't put Valda down. Like, but
I was showing this in the background. Well,
uh,
yeah, no, yeah,
the
that's the thing is like it's hard to put down your hero, right? Um,
yeah.
and I get it because I can't put down Dio. Dio's just way too fun right
Mhm.
now to put down. But it is nice to flex into different heroes is what I mean. Um, and I was thinking about it. I like Lyrath actually does seem interesting to me too. Pleiades definitely seems interesting. But Puffin is actually what I've been thinking about the most lately. I have a teammate that brought it to Worlds and actually did
Mhm.
decent with it. And I know I think there's another Puffin that placed like top 32 or something with and I think the deck is actually pretty solid right now. It's not the best meta for it. It doesn't have a good Verdance matchup. Um,
Mhm.
but once we get the ban list, Puffin might be a pretty good contender, and I want to be prepared to play it if possible. But anyway, all that to say, there's a lot of decks that I want to play right now. I think there's a lot of interesting decks in Flesh and Blood.
Yeah, I think there's a ton of interesting decks, and I'm interested to see if I break the Valda habit now that I was forced to.
Yeah. Right.
But it's like, and it like I'm kind of prepping for like RTN season, like mentally, because I'm like I'm gonna be gone for a week, so it's that, and then Christmas week, so I probably won't be able to do Flesh and Blood then. So it's
Right.
like that's I'm like I'm kind of prepping for RTN, kind of not. Like it is what it is.
I'm
But
trying
it's
to. I
like
was,
you're always prepping for something.
yeah, I think that's actually something we don't have in the notes, but we should talk about when it comes to um the RTN and upcoming RTN Pro Quest season. Um, so I was just taking a note on that. Um, yeah, anything else about your week in Flesh Mode? But actually, before we dive into that, into the upcoming seasons.
No, I think that's about it. It was a lot, but
Yeah,
it was a
no,
lot of fun.
no. That's good. That's good to have a lot to talk about for your week in Flesh and Blood. That I should have more to talk about when it comes to that. I'm just crazy and always focusing on something new. Um, but yeah, so starting, I think it's January 1st. Is what I was trying to look up here. Um, January 3rd. From January 3rd to February 1st, we have our Road to National season coming up. This will be, I mean, obviously post ban list, and I have in the notes a reminder of the promos that are available. It's the new twin drive, like the anime looking twin drive is the top 8 prize, which I haven't yet to decide if I really like it or not, but I'm definitely gonna get 3 of them regardless. I gotta bring out my Dio deck.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I look at it and I'm like, do I like it? Like,
It's
I think
better
the
than
art's
regular twin
beautiful.
drive, is the thing.
Yeah.
What's funny
It's
is that I
just
don't
like,
even run twin drive in my deck, but I want to place that anyway.
yeah.
So even if I get my invite on the first one, I'm gonna at least try to top 8 3 times to get a playset of them. And then top 4 prize is a cold foil in the palm of your hands for Pleiades, which
See,
I need that too.
that's what I need as
Mhm.
a Guardian player in case it's good for other Guardians if they somehow make it good. But 2, because like I also want to play Pleiades.
Yep.
So and then now I have the Pleiades deck built on the side of my Valda deck. So like I've got to have it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty sick.
Tell me no.
Pleiades is gonna be one of the most blinged out Guardian decks possible with the Black Friday pack and like this all the cold foil EA auras you can get. Like,
She's also going to be like the most expensive bling deck. You want
yes.
to have a playset of this Black Friday pack? $50 per card. You want
Actually,
to
I
have.
hadn't looked it up. I was curious how much the cards are going for right now.
I have no idea. I just took a random guess.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume in like the $30 range at best, because they're free with a purchase, right? It's
That's
just like
fair. That's
slightly rare. Hold on, let me. I'm really curious now.
So,
I don't think they're even on TCG Player yet. They're not. What are some of the auras called? The 2 cost. Like, what's the 2
Act
cost?
of Glory. That's why I pulled one out.
Active.
In my pack, I've got Act of Glory and Booze.
Oh, that's the 4 cost one. Yeah. Yeah, they're not even in TCG Player. So that's interesting. Yeah, actually, I'll pull up the ones I got. We're on the topic because they're really cool. And the problem is that I can't decide if I want to bling out a Pleiades deck or not because it's going to be a bit rough on the wallet.
There's a lot of bling. There's going to be like more cold foil than there are regular foil and regular cards combined.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
So I got Edge of Their Seats. If it wants to focus. I feel
like that one's really good.
Yeah, that one's a solid one. The glare between the glare and the non-focusing is really hard to see, unfortunately. I got Booze, which I think this card is really cool for RKO.
Yeah. Also looks really good. I like how the like Booze reflect.
Yeah, the foiling on it is really cool. And then I got Cheers, which is probably not good. It's probably the worst card in the pack in the set. Tension in the Air.
I think it's the second worst.
You think it's second worst?
Tension in the Air is sick.
That one's a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
You think Cheers is the worst or no?
I think it's, I don't know. There's the one that's like when you play this, your card gets +3 suspense card.
Is it a 1 cost one? I forget.
One sec. I'm gonna here it is. Dramatic Pause. 0 cost aura with suspense. When the center's arena, target defending action card gets +3 this chain link. Maybe it's okay.
No, that one's good for the defensive builds because, and it's also actually, yeah, because you can run the disc cards, the DIS ones. I forget what they're all called, but and then do
Superstar up on a pedestal would be.
Yes, I did get Superstar as well. So Superstar, I think that one might be the best one, honestly. It's pretty close.
That's sick.
That one's good. And then I finally got the Marvel Pit Fighter Hero, which I don't know how good that is because it's not playable in any format.
It's a Marvel Hero.
I thought it would be like the most rare card in the set. but apparently a
What
lot of people
is
got it. It looks
what
cool.
is the hero text on it?
Your attacks get +1 while attacking a hero who controls a seismic surge token. Whenever you attack a guardian hero, clash with them, the winner creates a seismic surge token. It's not a very
Okay,
good
okay.
effect. But yeah, so that was the front side of it, and then the back side is the full art marble. And it looks
How much
sick.
health does she have?
20.
I mean, it looks amazing. 20. Okay.
It looks amazing, but
I
like I
don't know.
don't know
Like,
when I'm ever gonna use this.
part of me is wondering if they're gonna make her like a real hero. Like, I'm like, how would they do that?
A second,
Change
sorry,
it to
my
like
dogs
bigger.
are playing a little too
Oh
rough.
yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's definitely something where I think that
Okay.
they could make her a new hero, but like,
But
I
then you
don't
couldn't
know.
play. You
Like,
still couldn't play this one. Like I don't know. We'll see how that
uh,
works.
you, you might be able to just play it. I mean, at Armories, I don't think anyone would care if you
That's true.
had that.
That's true. But yeah, that's interesting. But yeah,
Like,
the
change to a
packs were
bigger
cool.
token or something.
I just wish there weren't so many hits because like even in the packs that I got 3 packs, I didn't get a single
Yeah.
duplicate. And for a lot of these cards, you'd want to play set. You'd want 3 of them. So we'll see how
Yeah.
much it costs to bling out your Pleiades deck. Long
Yeah,
story short. Um, but yeah,
I also wish they had like a ton more. Like if it was like the whole month of December, like every
mm.
time you got
It
like
was
buy stuff, because like that would be sick.
because like
Like
didn't
that
every
would be an
store
easy way to get.
only get like 25 or something? There weren't that many.
I not entirely sure,
Yeah,
but yeah.
but yeah, there just aren't that many of them, and it's kind of sucks because that means if you want to place out of the cold post, it's gonna be so expensive. Just because there's just
That's what I'm
not enough
really
in circulation.
interested about.
Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I mean,
That's why I'm like, I don't think I can
they
do it. I don't think I can afford to.
they are cold foils. Like they are like
What do you mean by that?
they are cold foils, so they're not necessary to build the deck. So it's like I
Oh
guess
yeah,
they
yeah,
want
yeah.
to drive. Yeah, so it's like it's not necessary that they're cheap, but it's like, man,
Right.
I think there's a lot of people that want to bling out this, and it's gonna be sad when they look at the price and it's like a lot per card.
Yeah, exactly. Like at a certain point, it shouldn't cost that much to bling your deck. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean it's whatever.
yeah, it is
But
what it is.
like,
It's just extra. It's not like competitive like
yeah,
restriction or anything. It's just for those who
it's
want to
not
make
like
their deck look
batter
better.
to a pulp only being a top
That
four price
exactly.
promo.
Yeah, which they kind of remedied with
But
the extra printing of it, but
I mean, I think they did remedy it. Like I have 12 batter dual pulps now. Like,
yeah, they did flood the market with them then. Because
yeah,
what there
which
was like
I think
you
is a
got
good
them for
thing.
free with a purchase or something, right? I can't
Yeah,
remember what it was,
it was
but
for every box, I think, of
Guardian Mastery Pack. Yeah,
Guardian Master Pack, you
that's
got a
right.
batter to a pulp.
That's right. Which is funny because like they
And
could have just put it in the set, but anyway. Um.
well, I think they printed the card after it, like after the set was
Oh
printed, because the
right.
set was printed
It was
like a
printed
year
forever
before it
ago.
released. And
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
realized that Guardian literally can't play the game. One Enigma exists, and then they're like, here's a solution. And now they're running into the problem of Guardian can't play the game when Gravy exists. So we'll see if they come out with a solution.
Yep, classic illusionist problem. But anyway, back on the topic of Road to Nationals.
Yeah. Back to Steer this
um,
back on topic.
which actually we were basically done with. They have some cool play mats there. I will be going to a lot of those Road to Nationals. I plan on it. I expect for Dash.io to be pretty good, so I'll probably be playing Dash.io for it, but we'll see. Um, and then right after that, that's what I was trying to look up is the Pro Quest season, which is February 21st to March 22nd. So as a reference to
It's like
remind
2
everybody,
weeks.
since yeah, it's actually 3 weeks after Road to Nationals ends. So you have a month of Road to Nationals, and then you have a 3 week break, and then you have a month of Pro Quests. Um,
Isn't it 5 weeks of ProQuest?
it's yeah, well,
First two.
it's interesting because like it's February 21st to March 22nd, so it's only a month of time, but it is 5 weekends, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Because it like includes the beginning and end of it. Um,
Yeah, it's like the
Wait, I
first
just
two
saw
weeks are
this.
only Silver Age. Second or the last three are CC.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
what did
just
you see?
noticed something. I don't know if this how long has this been the case, but on the ProQuest page it says entry fee question mark. Stores may charge an entry fee for this event at their discretion. I thought there used to be like a recommended maximum
Oh,
for these events.
hmm.
Same thing is said for Road to Nationals. It's interesting. Um, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So it'll be a pretty busy start of the year next year. I'm excited for it
Yeah.
though. I think that at first I thought it was like a week or two break between them, but 3 weeks is actually not terrible, especially because there will be the first 2 weeks of ProQuest Las Vegas, the ProQuest season for Las Vegas, will be
Oh,
Silver Age. What were you gonna say?
hmm. I was gonna ask too. Companion of Wraith comes in between those two sets. Oh, wait, it
Oh
comes at the
yeah,
end of the RTN season. Compendium comes out. I'm pretty sure. So you'll have 3 weeks with the new set out to learn and play and try and understand. And you have Silver Age, and then to CC.
that's a good point. I didn't think about when it comes out February 13th.
Oh, so you have 2 weeks.
You have 1 week.
You have 1 week to figure out the new set.
You have
Good
one
luck.
week.
Have fun.
Um,
Hopefully, it has more of an
that's
impact than the last two. But
interesting. Yeah, I thought you would think that they would just have it come out the last week of RTNs.
yeah,
Um, the world
or like
premiere is a
the
week
week
after
after.
RTNs end.
Hmm. I guess they want everyone to go to the world premiere, which makes sense, and then it would come out the
Yeah,
week after, which would give you that week period. Hmm.
that's
I
interesting though.
wonder how
Yeah,
many cards were going to get spoiled.
That actually is interesting. We'll probably have something similar to the previous sets where they don't spoil everything, so that so
Hmm.
that most of it's spoiled during the world premiere.
Yeah, but we have like 300 cards,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
380 cards. Like that's where I'm like, I feel like they could at
yeah.
every event leading up be like, hey, here's like 5 spoilers,
But
and we'd
that
still have 200 cards at the event, and they could probably spoil some rares. I think that people would be very happy to see him spoil rares that are for Silver Age.
exactly.
Like
Um,
now that Silver Age is out, like it's actually super cool seeing some of these like rares and commons.
so I'll ask this question after. Um, the Yeah, so we'll actually have 2 weeks between when we know all the cards and the Silver Age ProQuest events, because we'll probably only have maybe like half the set spoiled by the time RTNs are
Hmm.
over. Um, interesting. Anyway, so I was seeing this. I still don't quite understand what the chapters mean for Silver Age. Do you know what that means?
Oh, yeah. So in the keynote, they said that they're going to be finishing up stories, like untold stories, or telling more stories. I imagine the chapters are just the stories. So we'll probably go back to the pits, and I haven't actually seen the chapters part, but what my guess would be like we never knew what like Betsy. Oh no. We never knew what Katsu and Benji is what I meant to say. Were doing down in the pits. We can assume that they were going down there to find a cure for what they were doing, but we never got the story. So I imagine they're gonna tell us that story and a whole chapter on that. And yeah, I Old Legends a new chapter. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm sure it's stuff like, hey, like here's this story, or like Kasai, like does she get back to her, like we could tell the story of Kasai making it back to Volcor and taking back her land. We could tell the story of I we could do some more Iroh story. I don't know how long her story is. It feels like it's gonna be a lot longer than what it is. You could go and tell more Iroh story. You could go back and tell like you could go back to Monarch and tell the story, or you could tell like what are all the Arya heroes doing right now in the siege of the capital of the capital of light. I forget what that's called, but Solus, I think. But anyways, you could tell what they're doing because we ended off with the siege happening, but we didn't hear about the Arya heroes during the siege. They were helping at the battles before the siege. So that's kind of like, what are they doing? And then we could jump over to Savage Lands. Like, what's going on there with like how did they capture Rhinar? Maybe we talk about that. And like that's how I imagine it's like, hey, here's this event, here's a couple spoilers, here's a story to go along with it.
But so do you think it's strictly a lore reason, or do you think it has like a competitive um impact is what I'm trying to say? Because isn't there like a rotation or
Uh
something system in Silver Age?
oh
Um
yeah, the rotation system is the players vote out the heroes,
yeah. So
which I am interested to see how it turns out. But
it's interesting because we just don't know for sure, right? How that's gonna work. Like when it comes to
yeah,
like what's legal for the first for ProQuest season and what's legal for uh Pro Tour Las Vegas. But basically, what I was curious about is that Chapter One and Chapter Two both release at the same time. They're both February 13th.
oh, I'm so
With
dumb. Ignore
competitivity.
me. I'm not right. Chapter 1 is the first group of armory decks. Chapter 2 is the second group of sage decks, the armory decks. Uh,
They are
Ignore everything I said for the last 5 minutes. You should have interrupted me sooner.
well, no, because I just don't know because it could be that it is some sort of there's some lore reason behind it because they released on the same date. So
They
then why
could
are
be.
they separated into chapters if they're released on the same date? Is my thought. Um,
I think it's just to separate their boxes because, like, box one, box two, they just call them chapters. Because this is they say this is a lore based set where they talk about untold stories. So I'm sure it's because it's a lore based set and you get to hear about these untold stories. We might get more Viscerai lore. Like it's probably something of like, hey, here's what these heroes are doing right now. We
huh.
haven't seen them in a while. Here's their like, and then here's the two boxes. You can just call them chapter one, chapter two.
Yeah. I just because do we have a do we have a breakdown of the competitive rules for it? Because I wonder,
Sage?
yeah, because I wonder if
Yeah.
there's a chance that because I remember at the keynote there was something about how they mentioned what chapter of Silver Age was happening for each event. It was like, okay, there was like a timeline or something that they showed, and it was like chapter 1 and 2 Silver Age, and then chapter 3 and 4 Silver Age, and stuff like that. Is there a potential chance that only these 10 heroes are legal for
I
that
don't think
that
so. It's
section?
all rare heroes. I'm pretty sure it's just the release of their Silver Age decks.
Yeah.
And they might have more cards in here. And I think this is like a note that we have, but like the
Yeah.
Silver Age decks might have like some special cards for those heroes that aren't in the set. But
Yeah. Interesting. So okay. So yeah, sorry, back getting back to it. Uh yeah, we'll have 2 weeks before the Silver Age Pro Quests with all the cards. And then a week before Silver Age Pro Quests is when the set comes out. I'm hoping there's not any product availability issues. That would be a bit spooky. Um,
I mean, there wasn't with Super Slant. Like, it doesn't feel like there was the last couple sets,
right.
which means we're improving, which means we're doing good. So,
Um, but yeah, we'll see. But to go over the Pro Quest a little further, we got spoilers on uh the Pro Quest. Why am I blanking on it? Like the rewards and stuff. But basically, there is a new Gem Pack 4 that we'll be getting. Top 8 will get an extended art rainbow foil Bittering Thorns, which is pretty sick.
that's super cool.
Yeah. And then top 4 can get either. I have to zoom in now to see. There's two cards: Ghost Protocol Mainframe and Ghost Protocol Architect. And let me see if I can pull these up on the screen. Oh, wrong one. I should always have this ready, but I just never do. Overlay. Ghost Protocol. I believe they're available anyway. So we have Ghost Protocol Mainframe, which is a mechanologist action attack. It's blue, costs 0, attacks for 1, blocks for 3. If this was banished from boosting this turn, you may play this from your banished zone, and it has Evo upgrade. This gets +1 power for each, or +1 attack for each Evo you have equipped, which is the typical Evo upgrade thing.
Mhm.
Actually, it's not a typical Evo upgrade. I forget. Evo upgrade can also cause other things. Um, but yeah, that's pretty good. It also doesn't say it's a Teklo card specifically, so you can run this in other Mechanologist heroes. It does not itself say boost, which I did not catch at first. So when I first saw this card, I thought it was
Mhm.
disgusting for Dash.io. No, it's not. It's
Yeah.
interesting. You can play it, but it's worse than just ending with a pistol shot. So, um,
Yeah, I'm happy, and like we'll see this with the other card too. I'm
yeah,
happy that it feels like they're trying to push Teklo into like a more boost heavy. Although I like that you can run so many cards from so many like from generic. He's not necessarily all mechanologist, but a lot of
yeah,
his support is like, hey, by the way, if you want to play these really strong cards, you have to play the rest of the class, and you have to move a little bit away from fatigue because like Technical fatigue was, I think, getting scarily close to some crazy broken stuff. Like,
yeah.
oh, I block 12 off my equipment. I block 8 off my equipment. Refresh, block 12 off my equipment. Like,
Yeah, there was definitely some scary things Teklo could do. He just has super polarized matchups because of it.
yeah,
Um, because yeah, if there's a deck that can like set up a combo into him, like Verdance, or maybe KO, or decks that can just go super tall some turns, by taking off turns that Teklo can't punish, then he was not very good into those matchups. So it had some pretty polarizing stats. But yeah, before we get into that any further, the second spoiler we got is Ghost Protocol Architect. It is a red 0 cost, 1 attack, 3 block. That says if this was banished from boosting this turn, you can play it this turn from your banished zone. Um, Evo upgrade: when this attacks, search your deck for an Evo with cost less than or equal to the number of Evos you have equipped. Banish it, then shuffle, which is pretty cool. That's a pretty good
that's
one
pretty
for
cool.
good old Teklo right there. Um, so like you said earlier, these are interesting. It kind of fed into my belief earlier that they're going to try to go for a different angle for Teklo, like support a different
Mhm.
playstyle. Um, these are clearly insinuating that they want to support a boost playstyle for Teklo, which was not particularly viable before, but if they give them enough support, could be viable soon. And the reason is that Teklo can play Evos out of his banish zone, right, with his hero ability. And so
Yeah.
when you boost an Evo, you're almost like drawing a card in a sense. And it would be interesting if the deck becomes much more aggressive and actually wants to play some of the 0 cost Evos that you boost away. They might maybe even come in as an instance, or you can use the hero ability just to like cycle a blue that you don't need to play it as an instant, and then get like a real card out of your into your hand. So we'll have to see how that works. I think that we'll have to see more cards to determine if that playstyle is viable. I hope these aren't the only 2 cards they're giving to support that playstyle. But these are really cool. The reason these came up is that they are top 4 cold foil extended art Marvel prizes for ProQuest season, which is fucking sick, by the way. Those getting like full art, they're literally Marvels. Getting Marvel cold foils as top 4 prizing is amazing. That is so sick.
It's so cool.
This is exactly what I've been talking about. Like, give us these really cool uh, prizes for these events that don't cost you that much to make, but give a real incentive to to make top 4. Like, I'd be happy to top 4 and lose and get this prizing because this
Well,
is
and
sick
even
pricing.
top 8, Bittering Thorns is sick too.
Burning
Like,
Swords is
as a
sick,
ninja
yes.
card, it's so cool. Like, and as I'm
Yeah.
like, I think it's super cool for pricing. I want to pull it back for half a
Yeah.
second. I do want to say, like, although it is like, oh, this also supports boost, I think it also is like good in like fatigue in a sense because you don't have to play in boost. Because like if you have all your Evo, the Ghost Protocol mainframe is still 0 for 5, still
Yep.
very strong at blue, and then Protocol Architect, even if you like don't boost it and you just play it for turn. It lets you refresh an Evo equipment. Say you have like 3 or 4 equipped, you can just
Yeah.
refresh an Evo equipment that you have without having to worry about the like having to boost it or like having to draw it naturally. Like you can just do it. And that's why I'm like, I think they're still good, but I'm glad it's like able to push it towards one direction. They're like, hey, you gain a lot of extra value by boosting these. But they're still good outside of it. So that's why I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that is a very good point to bring up. You can these are just good in current Techlo, non-boost Techlo, because yeah, you lose the first half of the text, but the Evo upgrade part is really where it's at. You just want to
Mhm.
run blues anyway in Techlo, like the current version of Techlo, because your
Yeah.
Evos are expensive, and so having a 1 for 5 blue at the end game is pretty good. And then what's interesting with Ghost Protocol Architect, the red one, that you get to search your deck for an Evo, is that you can, if you like maybe for some reason you pitch your singularity to the bottom of the deck, you can shuffle your deck and bring it closer to the top to try to find it
Yeah.
quicker. So that's a way to shuffle your deck, which is nice. Um, and like you said, you can refresh an Evo. You can like block out. You can block with your one of your Steel Souls, and then add more blocking power with if you get extra cards per turn. But yeah, I think the shuffling part is really important because you get to sync or opt the with Fate Foreseen singularity to the bottom, and then once you get all your Evos online, you can play this shuffle, bring it close to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and go ahead.
Or I just think they're super interesting because I think they play into both styles without being like too crazy in either style. Because like both early game, they're not that good. But it's like even both like Ghost Protocol Architect, you could search up the 0 cost Evos because you have 0, so you have less than right like search your cost less than or equal to the number of Evos. Yeah, so you have 0, so you can search up a 0 cost because it's equal to,
Yep.
and then attach it to your hero as a 0 cost Evo, which
Yeah.
is still pretty cool.
You can play this turn 0 and get value out of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is nice. Um, but yeah, really cool pricing. There it's such a good direction that they've been going with these pro quests and
Yeah.
RTNs. Because before you would get like something for top 8 that just did not matter, like a rainbow foil hero that was like, okay, this is worth like $10. like if you lost in top 8, you would feel pretty bad about it. But nowadays, getting top 8 is like actually getting something of
Yeah.
value, which is really nice. And like even top, like I want to play all the pro quests. I really hope this is one of the times where actually we haven't talked about this yet, and maybe this will be left for uh, next week. But whether or not they're going to allow repeats, like if you win a pro quest, if you can play again.
They already stated that they are not going to allow if you win you can't play again.
Oh yeah,
They
I see
stated
it here
that
now.
like they stated it like a day or two ago, and everyone on Blue Skies was like dooming or celebrating.
Yeah, that's really rough with these pricings too, because like I want to get more of the pricing, but obviously that like at least for more people to get pricing. So I get it. I get it. Um, but anyway, I want to get a play. I want to get these prizes. Like I don't even care about winning. I just want to get the cold foil marbles. like that's sick. Um, yeah, we're looking forward to this our next season. Very cool competitive season that we have coming up. Uh, and since we didn't mention it, we mentioned it before. But yeah, the first 2 weeks of the ProQuest for ProQuest Las Vegas are Silver Age, and then the last 3 weeks are CC. So they did a really nice job of sectioning it so that you don't have to like play a Silver Age event on Saturday and then a CC event on Sunday. You have to prepare for both.
I like it a lot. And they also like you don't have the LL thing where it's like, oh, you can play LL and then no one schedules LL. Like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
you could schedule like all on the back half, but I think it offers up more opportunity for people to play Silver Age, more data to get collected, and like all this. I think it's very good. It also makes it easier, like from what I hear, for people to test because like okay, I only test Silver Age first 2 weeks, and I test CC the last 3 weeks. So I think it's good. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. No, it's a very good. It's a very big change. Um, but yeah, and I'm looking forward to it because yeah, that means I get to like fully prepare Silver Age and then prepare CC, and I have to mix it up.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about the upcoming competitive spring or early winter spring before we go into Calling Valencia, which is happening
I'm
right now,
really
actually?
excited. I'm really excited. I really hope I get to play in a few events. I'm really worried that it's going to be like I can play in one again because I'm taking like a lot vacation here in December. I got a couple weekends off, and I'm like, oh no, it's gonna hit me in January where they're like,
Yeah.
well, you got all these weekends off, so like January you get none, and I'm like, so I'm worried, but hopefully I get to go to it
Yeah,
because
yeah. I hope you get to
I'm
go to all
excited.
of them. Yeah,
That would
hopefully.
be awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so right now Calling Valencia is happening as we speak. I believe they're probably in semis or finals now because they were finishing up quarterfinals when we started. The top eight, actually, we have a meta breakdown somewhere, don't we? I just realized that we didn't have that in our notes, but I think there was a meta breakdown posted. Here it is.
They're
Um,
in top four right now.
they're in top four. Okay. So Colin Valencia had 422 players. The most represented was Syndra at 79, then Gravy at 45, Verdance at 41, Arachne Marionette at 32, KO at 30, Dash AO at 25, Acilio at 21, and then it drops off from there. Dory, Kasai, Prism. Um, there were 10 Reinars, 8 KO underhanded cheats, and 2 Lyeths. And the reason I bring up those specifically is that there was a Reinar that squeaked out of top 8. There was a Lyeth that also did really well. It was piloted by, oh, who was it again? I saw the name and I lost it. But there's anyway, there's someone that was playing that took Lyeth really far.
They
Uh,
went 8-3. I think they just bubbled
yeah,
out too.
they basically bubbled out of top 8 with Lyeth of all heroes. I'm really interested to see what that deck list looks like. And I think there were actually 2 Reinars that basically bubbled out of top 8. Um, so if we go to top 8, we have or 2 Acilios, 3 Gravies, 2 Marios, and a Dash IO. Who now I'm hoping to win. I was rooting for one of the Acilios because it's one of my teammates, Martin Holic. Um, but unfortunately lost to the Gravy. You can lose that matchup if things just don't go your way as the Acilio. Um, but now I'm rooting for the Gravy. Hopefully they just take it down because I think Gravy's. Or I think, sorry, I'm rooting for
And
Dio.
Dash out.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Dio. I misspoke there. Because it's a good top 8 for Dash IO. I think that you're slightly favored into Mario. Uh, I don't know. I think the Marios would disagree with that, but I think that you're pretty favored into Mario. And you're definitely favored into Gravy. You're definitely favored into Acilio. So you just don't really have any bad matchups. So I'm hoping that they take it down.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting seeing this in like the meta that we all knew. It's like, Syndra, Verdance, and Gravy are the top heroes. And then you look at this and there's only Gravy out of those 3. So
Yeah.
it is very interesting to see that.
Yeah, there was 80. Syndra's the most brought deck, and none of them made top 8, which is pretty impressive. um, I don't know exactly what happened to cause that. There was probably just a little bit of variance that happened, if I were to guess. Because Syndra's not a bad deck by any means.
I mean, it could also be that everyone's teching for Syndra. Like everyone, like it's obviously during Worlds was proved that it's the best deck. Like,
But like Acilio has a bad matchup into Syndra. Gravy has a bad matchup into Syndra. You can definitely win it. It's not like terrible, but it's a pretty bad matchup into Syndra. And so the only deck up here that has a great decks that have a great matchup into Syndra are Mario and Dio. So I think maybe some other decks pulled them back and allowed some of these decks to shine. But yeah, no Syndras, despite being the most brought deck, no Syndras made top 8, which is pretty cool. Same with Verdance as the second most brought deck. None of those made top 8 either. So quite an interesting
crazy to
shakeup
me.
happening.
Yeah.
Which is also interesting to think that there's all these calls for a shakeup to happen because of Syndra and Verdance, and yet none of them made top 8 of Calling Valencia. Kind of interesting if you think about it.
Yeah. I'm
um,
interested to see what they do, like especially now, because I think they were very dead set, and I think a lot of people are very dead set that like, okay, like Gravy, Syndra, and Verdance are getting a ban. Like they top every event and they win every single event every single week. They're just there.
Yeah.
And then and this might just be like a fluke, like something weird really did happen, or it could be a lot of people playing like pet decks because like Worlds is over. It's not as important to be playing those like really strong decks. But it's like I don't know what it is, but like they did not show up, and I'm interested to see if like the bans change because like oh wow they didn't look as strong as they were, although they've been dominant for 6 months.
When is the ban list again? It's in 1 week, right?
I think it's like November 13th, 14th,
Maybe
maybe
December,
15th. It's December one of those days. I'll just list all the days in December and I'll be right.
yeah. I was list all the days. December 15th. So
15th.
we actually have
Okay.
2 weeks. We have 2 weeks. So yeah, things could change based on this. We'll see what happens. I want to talk about Silver Age before we do some ban speculations, though.
Yeah.
Because I think there will be an impact there as well. So there was a Silver Age event in Japan. We don't know exactly where. We just know it's somewhere in Japan.
To find this information, I had to like scroll and like look through Blue Skies. I while you were like typing this up, I was like scrolling through Blue Skies for like 10 minutes. I'm like, come on, where is it? I know people were talking about it, and then I found it, and then I copied the pictures to our notes, and then I lost the post, and I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I'm not gonna scroll for another 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was not easy to find. I didn't even know it was happening until I think someone posted this graphic that we have here,
Yeah,
which is a hero breakdown graphic, and it's quite interesting between this and the top 8. So the hero breakdown, I don't know how many players there were. If I had to estimate, it looks like roughly like 160, 180 players. So 56 of them were Ira. That was by far the largest brought deck. Was Ira
like
56.
A third of the meta was Ira.
Yeah, effectively a third was Ira. There were 25 Bravo Flattering Showmans, or some are calling him Farvo. There were 24 Briars, 15 Chain, 14 Oldhim, 9 Fi, 9 KO. I think this is the one-armed KO, not the... Yeah, this is the one-armed KO.
It's the first KO, yeah.
Well, no, the first KO.
Or not the first.
Yeah.
The second KO,
The second
not the third.
KO. Yeah. Yeah, not the
first,
third.
Not the third. The second.
There are 3
Still a lot of
KOs
KO.
legal in this format. And then 8 Azalea, 8 Icelander, 7 Enigma, 7 Vincent, and then a lot of like 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, and 1s. So a very diverse meta outside of the most brought of Ira. And then top 8 is kind of interesting. Top 8 was, let me zoom in on this a bit. 5 Chain. 5 Chain, 1 or 2 Old Hymns, and a Valda.
Yep. We're in, boys. Valda's in the meta.
Valda, how many Valdas were brought? Let's see.
4.
4 Valdas were brought. One of them made top 8. 15 Chains were brought. A third of them made top 8. And 2 out of 14 Old Hymns made top 8. I don't know who won. Do you know who won?
Chain.
Okay.
But anyways, I know there's a lot of talk about Chain being a problem in Sage, but I want to point out that Valda player, they have proven that it's possible to play Valda and do well. And I'm committed to Valda and Sage. Like, I saw the graphic. I'm like, I don't even care about Chain. I don't care about Old Him. I see a Valda in top 8 of a 150-something person event. I'm playing Valda. I've been convinced. That's all the convincing I need to play Valda for the rest of my time.
You want the bad news?
What's the bad news?
She's almost certainly a fatigue deck because of 21 health.
I think I got the list and it wasn't a fatigue deck.
Yeah.
I think. But anyways, even if it is a fatigue deck, which would make sense. Even if it was, that's what my first thought was too. I was like, it's definitely a fatigue deck with 21 health. Like, but even if it is a fatigue, like, I don't care. I'm gonna find a way to not fatigue and beat people up. Like
Yeah.
I can dominate the forest. I can do a lot of really weird things. Like I'm gonna play. I'm
I mean,
committed. Like
there are a lot of decks that draw cards, like a lot of top decks. The KO
mhm.
draws cards with their wild rights and whatnot. Azalea draws cards with Death Dealer. Um, Briar will sometimes draw cards. I don't think Chain draws any cards.
No, Chain just banishes them and gets to play his one card
Yeah,
hand. But
yeah, like the Rangers draw with Death Dealer. The Brutes draw with their wild rides, and there are some other decks that just kind of have some incidental draw, and even in this format. So you do get some seismic surges off of your hero ability.
yeah. I mean, I've played a bit of Valda and Sage, so it's like she definitely feels like she has some strong moments, but I think like I still have to figure out my deck list because sometimes I look at my hand and I go, "This is unplayable. Like I can't." Okay.
Yeah, that was the problem I was kind of having with the Silver Age, with mostly with the illusionists slash gravy. Was that I would look at some of the hands and be like, wow, this is terrible. This is unplayable. So yeah, we'll see how that fixes. That's basically part of the discussion about Sage, and the meta, because this is a bit of an unrefined, not only unrefined meta,
Yeah.
but a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a fake meta, if that makes sense, because Silver Age isn't, it's technically out, but it's not. I wouldn't consider it a real format until Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 come out,
Yeah,
and
until
Compendium of
Companion
Wraith.
releases and like
Right.
it's a lot of fun to play, but there's definitely like we've seen some sauce already. We've seen a lot of really good cards, and that's just like 10 cards of the set that have changed a lot of decks and theory crafting. Now imagine the rest of the 300 commons and rares out of the 380 cards or whatever.
Yeah.
But I also want to note that the Valda made it to second place in the finals, from what
It's
I've
pretty
heard.
cool.
So
That's right. Yeah, Valdo
he
was
beat
it was
out,
Chain v
I
Valdo.
think, two chains and lost to the final chain, is what I hear.
Yep. So two
I'm
two
locked
chains
in.
got fatigued and the third one didn't.
I'm locked in.
um but yeah, so it's funky because yeah, we're in like a precursor format to what
Mhm.
Sage is really gonna look like for the upcoming competitive seasons. Um it doesn't mean that it's not worth playing or anything. It's just because we had this event, we have a Silver Age Battle Hardened happening in Seattle in I think it's next weekend.
Yeah,
Um
and there's the Valencia has a Silver Age event going on in the like Battle Hardened,
oh
from what I
really?
know.
That's cool. Yeah, so there Silver Age events are already happening. Um and this is without any additional support for Silver Age. So
Mhm.
the devs have already thought about some of this and are, we're gonna see what happens in Compendium of Wraith, which is basically a set designed for Silver Age. I every hero is gonna get a card, at least one card, and there's probably gonna be a huge shakeup in the equipment slots, a huge shakeup in maybe some specializations or some power cards for some heroes, and that's kind of what I want to talk about next is what is this format going to look like post Compendium of Wraith? How are these starter decks going to look like? What are we going to how is the format going to be super fast? Is it going to slow down a lot because of maybe some better quality equipment? Um, or will better quality equipment cause the format to speed up? That's all what I want to talk about now.
I
Uh,
wouldn't be surprised if it's sped up, but like also we've seen some defense reactions, and I'm really hoping more defense reactions get put into the pool,
you
like
think so?
more like hey, class defense reactions, just because like it it feels like that's what it lacks right now. That's what
Mhm.
like Silver Age feels like it's missing is a lot of the defense reactions and the ways to play around it. And I also feel like some CC misses the defense reaction step right now, where it's like they've just gone so heavy on block cards recently that like no good defense reactions have been printed except for Shelter of the Storm. But obviously you can't play that.
Yep.
It's like they just
Yeah.
it's
So
like they haven't printed any like real defense reactions outside of Assassin and Warrior, Draconic. It's Assassin and Draconic for like years now because they just keep printing block cards.
yeah, so there's been this push against defense reactions. We the game has had Sync Below and Fate Foreseen as defense reaction staples for 90% of decks since the game came out. Sync Below was an Welcome to Wraith, and Fate Foreseen was an Arcane Rising, right? So since the game came out, decks have had at least 6 defense reactions, 4 block defense reactions in their decks. And so I believe it made sense for Silver Age to shake it up a little bit and remove these staples from most of the decks, because if those cards were in Silver Age, every deck would be running them.
Yeah.
Every single deck would be running them because it's just such good value. So I think it's a good idea to tone that back a little bit. However, it caused a secondary effect of Pummel being pretty good in the format, because turns out when you attack react for 4, there's not a lot your opponent can do when they don't have Fate Foreseen and Sync Below as options. And we do see that Flattering
One counter I
Showman
want to
didn't.
say to Pummel though is like, when Pummel's coming.
Yeah.
Like you know the attack is pummeled. Like
Yes.
you see it in their arsenal. They like, you don't have Tunic. It's not like I remove Tunic counter and swing. No, it's like, okay, you threw 12 at me. I ate all of the damage. I'm throwing my hand at you. I cannot arsenal 2 cards. What am I throwing?
Yeah.
Pummel. Like,
exactly. But still, if it comes in for dominate, what can you do about it?
Yeah.
Like
that's a little bit harder.
That's what. Yes, that's the problem mainly. Or if like maybe they don't have it, or you what are you gonna do? Are you gonna overblock for 4 and then they just arsenal it? Like, yeah, it might be face up, but that doesn't mean that not having any counterplay to it makes it or even if it's face up, it doesn't technically fix the lack of counterplay for it. But that's not necessarily even the biggest problem, as we saw in the top 8 for this event. None of the Bravo Flattering Showmans made it. We only have one, or actually we have 3 Guardians that didn't make it.
Which I know a lot of people were worried about made it.
Yeah, none of the Azaleas made it. I know Lexi seems pretty good in the format. There were only 4 of them, but none of those made it either. And there'll be a lot of chains who just get a ton of value. It's really just about value, it seems, so far. And not necessarily can you combo or can you throw evasive damage. I guess Chain does throw evasive damage with Rune Chance, but it's more about he gets a ton of value off of the shackles.
Well, I hear it's like a pseudo Rune Gate chain where it's like,
yeah,
you do the Rune Chant generation and then you have one big explosive turn of like 25 damage, and it's Silver Age. You can block probably 12 at most. And then if you do that twice in a game, you win.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting because it's a 20 life format, and if your opponent just has a huge turn early and you block out your whole hand and you've taken a lot of damage, then you're just on the back foot for the rest of the game. And there are some options when it comes to equipment to like allow for a pivot. You can run 4 Blade Beckoners and basically gain 8 health if they swing with their weapon. But you'll play against some heroes that just don't swing weapon, and you'll only have block 4 with that. Also, if you're playing against Chain, you have to run AB 1, so then you lose some armor block there as well. So it's interesting. That's my biggest concern with Silver Age so far, is that the fact that it's a 20 life format. If it's too aggressive, going second will be too good. If it's not aggressive enough, then it will be very fatiguey. We'll see how they manage to toe the line there. Is basically where I'm getting at, and I'm hoping that they do a good job with it. Maybe potentially some armor that gives some value turn 0 to make up for that deficit of going first instead of second.
Or give each class an arcane barrier.
Yeah,
card.
I've heard some calls for that. Like give us some AB that has what is it? That has
block value some other effect to it.
Yeah, like 81 Blade Break 1 or something.
Yeah, boom, you've printed the best Guardian boots in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if they do a generic good AB. If they like basically power creep Null Rune. That would be interesting. I'm not sure if they'll do it. I think that we're probably at a time where they could power creep Null Rune and be okay with it. But
well, that's why I was like, it would be cool if they did that, but for class specifically, Guardian, your common boots are Arcane Barrier 1, Blade Break 1.
Yeah.
Oh, Warriors, your common boots are Arcane Barrier 1 and destroy this create an agility token. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, I think that it will be interesting to see. I think that's the best way to do it because then you can print a lot of really cool equipment. You can make it really flavorful with the hero. You can have some of it be more defensive slanted, some of it be more aggressive slanted. Um, and they've been already going in that direction a bit. They've been giving some heroes AB that also has other utility. We've seen what's that? The illusionist arms that AB1 and you can pay one to make a special shield. Um,
yeah,
yeah,
I forget what they call it, but yeah, that's
yeah,
the whole gist of them.
yeah. So like they've been and they had the Widow Walker I think equipment, the assassin equipment
Oh
that
yeah,
AB1
AB1
Spellboy one.
Spellblade one.
Yeah. So they've been really
Man,
starting to
I could
reach.
dream that we get that one
Right.
day. in
That is
Guardian.
nutty equipment, by the way,
Yeah, that's
for AV.
insane
But
equipment.
they've been really like breaching, stepping into this extra utility arcane barrier, which is nice. And I hope that they do that for Silver Age. They step into that a little bit further. Give us some additional modality on our equipment. Um, because what is the sideboarding size for this game? It's 10 cards because
Is it
it's a
55?
55 card deck, and
And you have to run 40.
you have to run 40, and then you'll have at least 5 cards as your equipment, so that's 10 card sideboard, um, which is slightly less than the 15 card sideboard you get in CC. Um, so it's just like your sideboard space is a little bit more tight, and so having some more equipment that has some modality, and um, you're able to have it for multiple matchups, or maybe even just main board it and just have Arcane Barrier naturally, would be really nice. At least I think that if every hero had at least one natural AB1 they want to run, that would make a huge difference. Like just one
Yeah, I
main
completely agree.
deckable AB
I
would
also
be
think it would make generally rune blades a lot more manageable
Mhm.
because the most powerful thing about rune blades is taking like not the most, but like one of the most powerful things about rune blades is being able to take one of the equipment that you really want to run.
Yeah,
So if you like have rune blade as a like give every class one card that they're okay running with, it's like maybe a little worse value, but like still okay running with as like arcane barrier. I think it would make rune blades a lot worse.
yeah.
And
Like
like
Room Blades just start with an extra 2 value from removing an equipment.
yeah,
Is what it is. Yeah.
and I mean, like, I feel the same way in CC. And it's like you start with even more value by removing equipment in CC. Like, oh, you removed a headpiece. Well, you removed my like sync target, and this is this. You removed my arm piece. Like, you gain 3 life, or I lose 3 life from starting the game. It's like it really is like it is really powerful to be able to just tell the opponent you start off worse.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Um.
Yeah, it's like I was looking at my Silver Age deck, and 10 equipment pieces are to armor pieces because
Yeah.
I have to be able to switch. I think I have one more equipment piece I need, so it's probably 9. But
Yeah.
I mean, 9 sideboard slots as equipment pieces, that leaves me 6 cards for sideboarding. That's
Yeah.
not a lot.
It's not a lot, which I mean, you don't need a ton in this format, to be fair, because it's a lot of times it's like, oh, do you have the D reacts in or not for the matchups you need D reacts? And there are still D reacts, generic D reacts in the format. There's Springboard Somersault, which is the 2 block. It gets +2 play from Arsenal. There are some block cards you can run to get around Overpower and Confidence. Um, I think there's another generic D reacts too that you can run in some heroes. I want to say there's another one that I'm missing. That's like a 3 block D react. Oh, um, you can run like put in context in some matchups. But anyway, there's like the sideboard space is quite limited. I agree. So having some more modal equipment would increase a bit of the options in the sideboard, and I think that'll be a huge deal in this format because there are a lot of interesting sideboard pieces you can run. You don't have a race face, but you have some cards that are similar to a race face. You have some cards that can maybe hurt Bravo Flattering Showman. Um, you can make there's a lot of rare options for tech cards, and that's actually something else I'm kind of interested to see if they introduce in Compendium of Wraith are some more I guess targeted hate pieces, sideboard pieces at rare. right? Some erase face, command and conquer style effects but in
Well,
the
I mean,
rare
even
slot.
then, like, there's some really cool cards that, like, I think just haven't been explored. Like, I
Mhm.
heard this on another podcast, but like, Wreck Havoc into Farvo,
Yep.
like 2 for 6, I flip your arsenal, which means you lose your hero ability.
Yep.
But also, if you have a defense reaction, like for other decks, like it's also just a 2 for 6 finisher in a lot of decks where it's like, oh, you run. This is a deck that can run defense reactions. I'll throw this at them. Oh, I
Yeah.
killed a defense reaction. Or you have like cards like, or the cards that are like when this, like, oh, was it Rosetta? Like the 1 for 5 on hit, flip and the card in
Yes.
arsenal if it's an attack action, banish it or discard it. Like that's pretty strong. Like you go and that's strong into most decks if you like in this format. And it's like I think it's just not explored quite enough. Where it's like there's a lot of these weird cards, and it's like I think what's so strong about Chain is a lot of these weird cards and weird techs. Like we just don't have a good way of tackling him.
Yeah.
And also, I think he just gets around a lot of the problems by like, okay, I just need to keep one blue and I can throw 12 value at you or something silly
Yeah.
like
Or
that.
one dirge or something, right?
One dirge, yeah.
Actually, dirge is banned. Or one something. I don't know. But
Yeah, whatever. It's like I just need to keep something to throw something. You can throw whatever you want at me and I'll match your value.
yeah, I do think that so something that's been really interesting when I haven't touched Sage in a minute, but when I was looking at Sage, the amount of cards that I've never even considered for Classic Constructed are actually really
Mm-hmm.
interesting for Silver Age, and I hope that doesn't change with Compendium of Wraith. I hope that they don't effectively make too many
Upgrade the
good
whole
cards
suite.
and nullify a lot of the cool stuff that's happening with the current card pool. Um, if they end up,
Because what I
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying if they end up like basically making a if they make all the heroes pretty standard in how they're built, then that will reduce a lot of the interesting deck building options that are available. I think that is I want to see more tech pieces that are they're like trade-offs to run. So like you said, like the 1 for 5 from Rosetta that you can run to like make
Mm-hmm.
uh pressure some decks, arsenals. I think some more interesting effects like those are what I'm looking for. I want some more cards. I want the format to slow down a little bit because from what I've heard, it's a bit fast right now. I want to slow down a little bit so that you can run tech pieces that are also just fine in the matchups they're not meant for, right? Like
Yeah.
they're not good, but they're usable in the matchups they're not good for. So you don't have to have a massive sideboard of tech pieces.
What I really hope for is like each hero gets their own like cards in a way, like specialization, but not necessarily specialization, like
Yeah,
tectonic instability. Like I play a lot of Balda, but it's like tectonic instability. No other Guardian wants to run that. Like that's not a good card. But then Valda gets so much value from it. It's like, oh, like based off my disruption, like you get maybe see Bravo playing it, but like he likes the 3 cost. So it's like, but it's like it's something where it's like it's strong in a certain hero and it's unique to that hero, but it doesn't affect the rest of the class. And I hope they go to Warrior and they're like, hey, here's this piece for this warrior. It's not relevant to the rest of them. Like a wager warrior card,
yeah.
like Olympia would love that, but none of the rest would. And it's like stuff like that, where it's like they go and here's 2 cards that your hero specifically would love, and move on to the next. Here's 2 cards your hero would specifically love, and move on to the next. And just keep doing that to the point where it's like every hero gets support
Yeah.
and is able to tack the meta in a unique way that when you print and then here's the generic guardian card that's just generically good in all of them, like it's an upgrade,
Yeah.
but it's not replacing your entire deck.
I think what I would really want for this too is for them to push a little bit some of the heroes that aren't played in CC that aren't we don't get to see in CC, so we have a bit of a more diverse looking format in Silver Age. For example, Terra. We literally can't play Terra in CC, but it would be really cool if Terra was a decent or good deck in Silver Age. Um, Maybe something like Betsy. Betsy might have a place in Silver Age if she gets the right support.
Yeah.
Um, OG Dash, maybe with a different type of build, would be pretty cool. Olympia you might have a reason to play him in Silver Age, and that'd be pretty cool. It's just like some heroes that either maybe have LL'd too, and therefore we don't get to see him as much in CC. I want to go to Silver Age and feel like I'm playing a very different format. I don't want to have just like
Yeah, I
CC
agree.
minus, right? I'm a little bit worried that it could become that in a sense, where it's just like, okay, here's just faster CC games, or it's like it ends up feeling like a Blitz power level. That would be the worst case scenario if you ask me.
I think that would be worst case
Yeah.
scenario.
So I'm hoping that it feels different and it feels unique, and that is also balanced. And
Yeah, and that's why I'm hoping that each class gets like a suite of defense reactions.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Runeblade. Runeblade already has like two of the best defense reactions.
Runeblade doesn't
in
need
the game.
help.
We can.
But
Runeblade doesn't need
unfortunately,
help.
they gave Runeblade help already. We already saw some of the spoilers, right? The
Yeah.
book for Vincent is pretty nutty.
Pretty crazy. But yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't like I hope they go through and they're like, hey, this class, like Warrior, here's your defense reactions, like that you can play in Sage. It's a 0 for 3, but does some weird thing. Or like, hey, here's a defense reaction for what's another class I need to think of? I'm like Illusionist. Like it would be cool if Illusionist got like one. It's like, hey, Illusionist, here's a defense reaction. That yeah, I know.
I don't know if we
I
should give Illusionist defense reactions.
But it's something like other like Enigma defense reaction that's like a blue 1 cost block 2, but when you pitch it, you create like 2 spectral shields. So it's like a 1 for 4, but you can be uniquely.
It'd be pretty good.
Yeah, but like I hope it's stuff like that where it's like
Yeah.
you
I get
can
what you're saying.
do these unique ways, and then it will slow down the format again because I think like we just don't have enough of like ways to defend the chain and make it so that like I think there's just no punishment for going aggro because a lot of heroes just can't defend without losing.
Yeah, and if you're getting enough value going aggressive, then you're not going to get fatigued either, especially if you have a weapon.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty tough to get fatigued unless your opponent has
Mhm.
some good good fatigue tools, like some 1 card fatigue options and whatnot. Something like Arachne
Yeah,
Huntsman
or like
maybe.
I would love like a lot of class generic 0 for 3s that do something extra. Like they don't even have to do a lot, but like oh, a Guardian 0 for 3 defense reaction, and if there's an attack reaction activated on this, it gets +1. Like 9
Yeah.
out of 10 times it's a 0 for 3, but it's like really cool against like assassins because it's like block 3. Are you gonna do something silly? Oh, +1. Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited for them to give us very interesting but not like power corrupt cards, right? Like it would be
yeah.
like if they give us some modal cards or cards that would not be good enough for CC but are good enough for this format.
The other thing that I'm like I'm excited for is I'm interested to see the Majestics, which obviously are meant for CC.
Yeah.
I am very excited and very worried to see the Majestics because like
Yeah.
I'm worried that the balancing is not going to be very similar between classes because it doesn't feel like they have been for a while. But I'm really hoping that it's different.
I hadn't thought about that, but that's a good point. I expect at least 1 Codex of Frailty level card for a hero. That's
I
my
do expect
prediction.
that too.
I
And
think
it's going to
that
be Assassin again.
it's gonna be Riptide. He's gonna get another specialization.
That would be so funny.
No,
Riptide.
they'll probably give somebody something that'll be like someone that hasn't been in limelight for a while. Like maybe Katsu's gonna get something busted.
Yeah.
They might accidentally give Kasai something busted because she hasn't been very good, but she actually is on the verge of being good, and then comes busted.
He's on the verge of being very good.
I'm worried that something like that is gonna happen. Like they're gonna tone down the format.
Treatment.
It's gonna be like a middling power level format. They're gonna give somebody something disgusting and competitive with Wraith because they were previously bad, and they're just gonna get even better because of it. And then it's gonna be quite interesting to see how they reel it
My
back.
biggest worry is that's Teklo, where they're like, hey, by the way, Teklo, here's this fatigue piece that like when you block with this, you can attack Evos from your banish zone for free. Like that's crazy. But like
Right,
something like that, and I'm like
Tekla might be pushed. Yeah, we'll see.
and then all of a sudden it's like Teklo fatigue for the next month and a half or 2 months.
I mean, if it's Tekla fatigue, you can just bring a deck that beats it, right?
I can't.
Well, yeah, maybe you can't, but
My heart tells me no, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you can bring decks to beat Teklo fatigue though, at least.
Yeah. No,
But
that's
if
good.
they
You
make
could
aggro Teklo too good, then that could be concerning.
yeah, no, I'm interested to see what they bring, but I'm hoping that it is like, hey, Mechanologist isn't that good. Here's Mechanologist buff. Oh,
Yeah.
Runeblade has been really good. Here's some really unique Runeblade cards that don't really affect the meta. Like, hey, here's some a cool interaction kind of Runeblade cards.
Yeah.
Boom.
Betsy's log. That would be pretty cool.
Betsy, like 3 new Guardian weapons because I hate playing Titan Fist.
Yeah.
On a really small side note, this week they also changed Valda to have a signature weapon, High Riser. It's, oh, I love my
Why?
signature weapon being
Unless that's
a
why.
textless 3 for 3.
Why?
Why?
Please
Mm,
save us.
please. Can we just do the like prism treatment and like give us
Yeah.
a new high riser that's like
Please.
text, please? Yeah, I saw that. Like someone post, like I don't know if it was in like generic because I was exploring through like some people were talking about the purple Discord, so I was like, let me go explore the purple. And then I saw someone say that. I'm like, no way they did that. And then I went and looked and I'm like, they did it.
Fucking no.
But anyways, I would love, like, even just for other Guardians too, I would love just other Guardian weapons because Titan Fist as the only playable weapon is interesting. I would love a weapon that's like a 2 for 3. If you pitch something with 6 or more power, it gets 4. That would be pretty sick.
2 for
And
3.
it's almost a,
Pitch something with 6 or
it's
more
the
power.
brute weapon that they just got.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be insane.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, like Olympia doesn't have a specialization weapon or a signature weapon rather. That would be kind of cool if they gave Olympia a real weapon. Same with Lyath.
I would also
Lyath
love
got a
like
real weapon.
like another block sword for Olympia. Like you can defend with this. What if it's like a spell, like arcane barrier sword? Like that'd be sick.
That would be
Or
sick.
spell
Yeah.
sword. Like,
Um.
well, I guess yeah, but that
Yeah. There's a lot of cool
that would be
options they
so
can go
cool
with.
for him.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't consider the majestics of the set or the legendaries even of the set. Are there legendaries?
I mean, the legendaries are mostly reprints. I'm sure there's going to be a legendary or two that are
Yeah.
like not reprints, but the other thing I'm scared of is the Fable being playable. Like, please. You have
It's
to
gonna
reprint
happen.
Fables because they're playable, but they're gonna be like, oh, Companion of Wraith. It has to work for all of them. Like,
Is there another playable generic fable that has hit the tower?
uh,
Yeah, we'll
I
see
think
what they
that
do
is
there.
honestly my biggest fear of this set is,
Yeah.
hey, by the way, this we printed something really cool for you guys. It's a Fable, blue, gem, generic. When you
Generic
pitch it, when you when you pitch it, create a courage token. Do you
thoughts.
like it? Like,
It blocks 0, so it's balanced.
so it's balanced. But you get +1 attack whenever you pitch it.
Or like pitches for 4. That'd be way too good though. That'd be way too good.
I think that
What
would
about
be
a
a
confidence
really
token? I could see them doing confidence token. I could see that happening.
Hey, Pallades, you know your like holds gimmick? We're giving it to everyone else.
Yeah. Oh wait, I said confidence. I meant toughness. I meant toughness. I said confidence, but I meant toughness.
That I think would be more balanced, but you definitely have a lot of heroes that really, really like it still.
Yep. I can see them doing that. But
I
anyway.
could unfortunately see it too. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be curious to see. Well, I actually had a thought, by the way, which is that the world premiere for Compendium of Wraith is not a limited format, right? Unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's Silver Age.
Constructed decks.
It is constructed. I believe everyone gets to pick one of the Silver Age, the chapter decks. I don't know if you get to upgrade it with Compendium of Wraith packs or not. I'm not sure about that one.
I'm pretty sure you do.
You think you
get
do?
like
Okay.
a certain amount of packs, you get to upgrade it.
Okay. Sorry. Well, then in that case, then yes, they will probably keep
like,
things secret. But I was gonna say, like, if it's just constructed, like if it's just Silver Age, then they might just have released everything before, like spoiled everything beforehand.
The one thing I want to say though is like these are supposed to be competitive level decks. Like you might get packs, but it's probably correct a lot of the time. Just not have to change your deck.
They're supposed to be.
Yeah,
They're supposed to be, but we'll see.
I'm hoping.
I would be surprised if they make them like actually like you like they're any of them good enough to just not modify and bring to a pro tour. That would be impressive to me. um, I guess they do have sideboards in them though, don't they? Because they're 55 card decks, right? If I remember,
Actually,
if I
have
saw it
Arcane
correctly.
Barrier in them.
Right, like yeah, they actually have Arcane Barrier because yeah, if I look here, they are each deck is 55 cards plus hero and basic cards, 60 cards total. So they have sideboards in them, right? That's what that means. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see how they think that a sideboard should look for these decks. Maybe like defense reactions or block cards. AB.
I think defense reactions would be huge.
I mean, the fact that Icelander is one of these chapter decks and they have a sideboard means that each deck might have AB3. Maybe. That'd be kind of interesting.
You know what else I was thinking the other day? If we got a null rune piece that was like Arcane Barrier 2, that's it. That would also be a huge upgrade.
That would be insane. Our AB2, Null Rune Plus.
Just as a piece.
Yeah.
Because like
Super Null Rune.
I can just run Arcane Lantern and then my boots, and then I have AB3 instead of sacrificing 3 pieces of equipment whenever I play into a wizard. Or if I'm worried about combo or something silly like that, I could run like 2 Arcane Barrier 2 pieces that like like AB4.
I think if they did it,
like
it would be literally just the chess piece would be AB2, and they would not make multiple AB2s.
No, that would be so bad.
That's what they would do though, and that'd be the best way to do it. If they were to do it, that would be the best way to do it. Would be simply print Null Rune plus chess piece and no other AB2s.
Like I would like to have like AB2 on boots just because like the aggressive decks really like their boots and don't care about that. But the defensive decks really hate their boots and would love that. Like
that would be the way to keep it balanced though, because if the defensive decks just got to run AB3 for effectively free, then they could just fatigue the wizards maybe a little too easily. Or like
I guess
maybe a little bit it'd be too good for them. This would be good, it'd be a good balance. But anyway, I did not think about the sideboarding for these Silver Age decks. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. That opens up a lot of potential options for these Silver Age decks. I am curious to see if they put unique cards in these decks or if they will simply be draft chaff. They all come with a pack, so there's a chance that there is just a very simple, like here's a full completed deck with a sideboard that you can just buy, and you don't have to go scrounge around for all your cards, right? You don't have to go buy all these cards. Like it might literally be cheaper to buy one of these decks than it is to like, you know, build a deck from TCG Player because of like all the shipping costs and stuff. So there's a chance that they do just that. They don't actually have any unique cards in these decks because it would be cheaper to buy the deck than to individually get all the cards from sellers on TCG Player, right?
Yeah. What I'm hoping is, I know a lot of people want unique cards in this. I'm hoping it's just all stuff from like Compendium and past because like I don't want to have to buy these decks. Like I don't want to have to buy the Bravo deck to be able to play Guardian.
Right. Like imagine if you like wanted to have all the cards. I mean, which is like it's not really reasonable. You don't need to buy all the cards, but imagine if you did. You want to have all the options available to you. There are 10 decks. You would need to buy 2 copies of each deck if you wanted a CC playset. So you need to spend $20 per deck. There are 10 decks. $40 per deck actually. So that's $400 plus tax to get all the unique cards.
Yeah, and even if the cards are like generic, unique, like oh, it's like Arcane Barrier 2 piece we were just talking about. Like, I really, really hope that it's. I just don't want to buy spend $20 on a card that's probably worth like.
Yeah, I think
gonna be worth a couple bucks.
I think the best way to do it would be is if they did something like that. If they had like the Arcane Barrier 2 chess piece, that each one of these decks had it. So you just have to buy one of them, right?
Yeah, like that I could accept. Like
that would be perfect. That'd be the best case scenario. Then you pick whichever one you want to like not have to scrounge around for bulk for. Maybe each of them have like AB2 chess piece, and they maybe have another generic card in them in the sideboard for like a tech generic card as 2 copies. Then you buy 2 of them to have CC playable. If they're even CC, they might not be CC playable. They might be only good in Silver Age. Then you pick the deck that you want to buy, and then now you don't have to buy all of them to get the extra stuff. Um, I think that would be the ideal scenario, because then the enfranchised players still buy it. You still get money from the enfranchised players, but you don't make them buy, like, the people that want to have all the cards available to them for tournaments. You don't make them buy 2 copies of every deck.
Yeah.
um,
That's why I'm hoping it's either like I feel like I'm in the minority, so it's like if they print it differently, then whatever. But I'm hoping it is just like all the cards from all the sets. Like if you're new, it's a great purchase. Or if you like want to try a new hero, it's a good purchase. It's like, but if I just want to play Valda, like I could just buy Compendium of Wraith, get a bunch of other cards with it, and still play the deck that's, or like Bravo, sorry. Like say I want to play Bravo. I can just take all the cards I already have plus whatever's in Compendium of Wraith to play it. That's what I hope. That's what I hope. But
I think the other, like, okay option is if they do give unique cards in each box, that they eventually reprint them either in different rarity or whatever in like gem packs, or as like top 8 pricing, as like a cold foil or something. Like, they just, like, if there are in the future ways to get that card without having to buy this deck, so like maybe for now you buy the ones you need to play currently, but you don't buy all of them immediately, and then later on you can just get them for a little bit cheaper. But anywho, that's my concern. I know they're gonna do it anyway. Every deck's just gonna have a unique card to it, because that's just how they do the armory decks. Like, it's gonna happen. So we'll see. Hopefully they're not CC needed, because then it would be a little bit tougher. But we'll I'm just curious to see exactly how they approach it. They're definitely gonna have unique cards in them, 100%. There's no way they don't.
I know they will, but like my dream is that they don't. But again, I think I'm also in the minority on that option, so it's whatever.
We're hitting an hour and a half, so we might want to speed through a little bit of this
real quick.
So for the upcoming ban list, we guess maybe talk more detail next week. Actually, I'm not really sure what's needed now. There were some talks about Verdance and Syndra bans because they were dominating, but Valencia had none of them. Not Verdance and Syndra, none of them top 8. The meta is warping. Maybe it's fine to not make any changes there. I do think that we probably still want a shakeup regardless. And I've heard some talks about Wrath of Retribution being banned. I've heard some talks about Fruits of the Forest being banned. Just like the problem is that, like, you need the cards that hit in these decks are more consistency pieces, or like over the top power pieces, than like here. There's not really an identifiable like card that needs to be hit. It's more that just something needs to be hit to tone it down a bit, right? And so that's where it gets a little bit tough. Is like, what do you hit in those cases?
Gravy, take Chum, please.
I've been calling it for since like day one. Ban Chum, not Tipple. Give them back Tipple. Just get rid of Chum, and then you remove the polarizing aspect of a lot of the matchups that Gravy has.
Oh, I'm throwing Battle Duel Pull. Here it comes. Oh, I activate Chum on your Seismic Surge. Okay, well,
yep. Exactly.
Good game. Shake my hand. Or if they don't have Chum in that moment, or if I have Midas Touch in my hand when I do that, like, I got there. Like,
just it becomes a bit coin flippy, right? Yeah. So I hope that they change the way that they approach the Gravy balancing. I think it would make it more interesting if they hit something in Syndra. I've heard also Brand with Cinderclaw is another good option for Syndra. Force them to run more draconic starters that might be a little bit weaker instead of having Brand. And I don't even know what else would need to be hit, honestly. Like, out of this top 8 for Valencia, like, Dash AO is not a problem yet, but she definitely could be post ban list unless Guardians come back in force. Acilio is in a fine spot. Mario is in a fine spot. So it's really just those 3. I don't see any need to like do any other bans besides Gravy, Syndra, and Verdance.
I think those are the only ones that like honestly, like, I think the meta's fine for the most part, but we've been playing the same decks for the last 6 months. Like, there's not a lot of innovation. There's not a lot of like Like the innovation happened in the first 3 months, and I think we had this conversation a couple months ago where I'm like, it's a good meta, it's fine. It's okay that nothing changed. It's a fun, balanced meta. But I'm like after Worlds and into like the end of Super Slam, I do think if the meta stays the same, that's when you get in the territory of like Lexi, where Lexi was fun for the first few months, and then it was really boring because and like it was
Was
one
it
of
fun for the
like
first few months?
I mean I was a Guardian player, so like
Yeah.
like it was something where
I
it's
agree
like,
though.
oh, there's some unique aspect, but like I think this December is the point where if this ban list doesn't shake up the meta, we're getting past the point of this is a fun balanced format to this is the same balanced format where nothing has changed and there's
Exactly.
no innovation and
It
it's
just gets a little
nothing.
stale, is all.
It's just pretty stale, and that's what I'm like. If Compendium of Wraith came out in December, like I don't honestly think we need the bans. I would be okay with no bans, but I think we have to wait and go through another whole competitive season. Like
Yeah.
that's where I'm like, I think there needs to be some change up and some shake up. And it'd be really nice if we could get some of these heroes like Brutes that like are on the cusp of being really good and have been for a while back up in the meta. And
Yeah.
Guardian, but that's just
I will say that it's against my interests for anything to happen in these ban lists. If
yeah.
if we went with this meta into Road to Nationals, I would be chilling with Dash IO. Like that, she's just the best deck to bring, 100%. Um, but I do think that it's important to shake it up before Road to Nationals. Um, it'll make it a lot more interesting. I'm just hoping that Guardian isn't over dominant whenever they do make these changes. As long as Guardians
The
aren't
other
like,
thing
yeah, go for it.
I was gonna say the other thing I'm like worried about is they keep introducing more and more Guardians and more stuff for Guardians, but Guardians are never good. But we have like 7 Guardians in the game. Like we have a
Is it
lot
7?
of Guardians. That's a random number I threw off my head. Uh, Jarl, Betsy, Valda, Bravo,
Victor,
Victor, Pallades, Lyeth.
Ladies Land, yeah. 7.
7 Guardians.
There's 7 Guardians, and none of them are good.
And yeah, none of them are good.
They're
My
okay.
biggest
Some are
worry
okay.
is at some point, like, you could say some are okay. I think most of them are actually okay. Like, you can bring them to an armory and win. I've done that a few times on Volta. But my biggest worry is like they do this with a class for so long, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, they're playable again. And then you see top eights that are all Guardian, 5 different Guardians, but all Guardian.
Yeah, the good thing is that there isn't really a simple like switch to flip to cause that to happen, right? Like
Yeah, no,
it's
I agree.
like there's not a single like even if Gravy was nerfed into the ground, Guardian still wouldn't be the best deck in the format, right?
Oh yeah, I completely agree with
So
that.
it's
But
nice that like it's not like that imminent of a threat, you know?
But like I just keep looking at some of these classes. I keep getting more heroes, but nothing is done. Like they're none of them are gaining LL points.
Yeah.
And it's like at some point it's gonna cascade when like they actually make it the good class and they give them their codex. And then it's like, oh, like or even like what's another class that has a lot of heroes? Guardian might just be the one with the most heroes by a
Might
long
be the
shot.
most. Ninja maybe?
Yeah. Like you got Ira, yeah, Ninja. Like imagine like Syndra's good, but you got Fi, Ira, Syndra, Katsu.
Katsu.
I feel like there's another we're missing. Maybe not.
I guess it might be it, just 4.
Yeah, but imagine they got their codex.
There's a lot of
And it's like,
mechanologists too. There's Dash.io,
yeah,
Max, Puffin, Teklovasin. I want to say there's one I'm missing. Maybe not.
maybe
No, I
not.
guess it's it.
But like,
Just 4.
but like, if like, imagine they all got a crazy card that made boost just get over fatigue. Like all of a sudden, the meta would just be 4 different mechanologists, just because
Yeah.
like
Yep.
they've been sitting kind of on the back burner for a while. Like Dash.io, I think is good, but like a lot of it's like weird thought that I've been having, but I was just like, man, Guardian's been bad for 2 years now, and they keep printing new Guardians. I'm like, what happens when Guardian becomes good? I'm like, well, it could be a scary thought, but just a random off-topic thought I had.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I'm hoping for some bans. We'll see if there's any Sage bans. I expect none. I expect them just to let let it ride until
Mhm.
Companion of Wraith. What do you think?
I expect this Valencia to actually, like the Valencia Sage, to be a big influence on the bands. If we see another show out by a lot of chain, and even like if I think Oldhim shows up really well, I think you could see Guardian and Runeblade getting hit. But like other
Yeah,
than that,
I
I
could
think
definitely see that.
that they're kind of sitting back and letting things happen there. But I could see it being like, hey, December 15th comes around. By the way, things have been a little iffy recently. Here's a chain ban, here's a guardian ban. Go ahead, feel free to run free in the format again.
Yeah, because I don't know how many more Silver Age events there are until Companion of Wraith comes out. I just don't know. I think that
I think there's like 3
the
big events.
showdowns start next year, right? It's like the start of next
Yeah,
year. I just don't know when those are set for. So actually, you know what? I think I do. They will change something. I agree. They will make a ban in Silver Age because
it
of
might
that.
be something really small,
Something
but
small.
like,
It'll be something in
yeah.
chain, like you said, for sure. Something in chain. We'll see if they do anything else. Like they might leave Guardians alone, honestly.
I could see them banning the yellow block cards that they just printed in Guardian Mastery Pack just because they're like not super relevant, but you could probably run a Guardian deck that's all 4 blocks, except for like the
Yeah.
couple blue base to swing hammer.
Yeah.
Just because you got like 4 different 4 blocks. So that's 12 cards. You also have Crash and Bash, which is 16 card, 16 4 blocks. So that's almost half your deck is 4 blocks. We haven't even gotten into the generic 4 block of Seek Horizon. That's 24 blocks.
There's a lot
Like,
of 4
I
blocks.
could see them a lot of 4 blocks, which like none of them are blue, so I can't really swing weapon, but like
But if your opponent just like does
you
a
could,
setup, then you can still swing weapon. Pitch 3 reds.
yeah, and then you could like run somersault, like set that in arsenal. It's a 2 block that turns into a 4 block defense reaction.
Yep.
Like I think that Guardian, like I could see that like that happening just because it's like, oh, these aren't super relevant cards, but we don't want the format to be like Guardian with only 4 blocks deck
Right.
versus the rest of the field. Because I would
Yeah, I
take
can see it
12
happening
cards
for
out that
sure.
aren't super relevant.
Um, yeah, so we'll see what happens. That'll happen in 2 weeks. We can maybe cook the bands a little further next week's podcast. But
Yeah.
anything else Flesh and Blood related you want to talk about before we go into our non-Flesh and Blood end cap or whatever we want to call it the end of our podcast these days?
No, I've said I always do. I always said too much. I've said too much. I'm
No,
ready
never.
to move on.
All right. I'll have you start. Do you have anything you want to talk about for this? We need to have a name for this section. Actually, that's gonna be the question for the week for the listeners and the watchers out there. What should we name this end cap section? We need to have like a title. We're jumping into this section. Let us know in the comments below whether on Spotify or on YouTube. All right. What would you like to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much we can.
There's a lot to talk about. Honestly, that's not.
I know that we were talking about Riftbound before the podcast
Yeah.
started, so like, convince me on Riftbound.
I mean, I don't feel the need to convince anybody on Riftbound because it's like Flesh and Blood is the better game. I'm gonna start with that. Flesh and Blood is the better game by far, but Riftbound is also very solid. Um, the format or the meta is actually quite balanced compared to what people initially thought. There was initial worry that Kaisa was tier 0, but that is just not the case. It's definitely the best deck. Don't get me wrong. It's the best all around deck, but there's been a lot of other decks cropping up. People are learning how to play into Kaisa and how to tech into it, and there's a lot of viable decks right now. So that's number one. The meta is actually pretty decent. Number two, the game is just fun to play. It has a really high skill ceiling. I think that it rivals Flesh and Blood in terms of the decision making process and the skill ceiling and the skill expression that you have in the game. And I'm trying to think of another positive. I mean, the IP is really good. I think a lot of people just like the League of Legends IP. So it's interesting there. And I think that's a lot for the positives. I think that's basically all the positives you can have for a game outside of the negatives that I'm going to get into. The negatives are product availability and pricing is god awful. It is terrible. Booster boxes, I think the MSRP at like 120. If you want to buy one, it's like $300. There are places selling individual packs for up to $15, and people are buying them because the cards are so much in the set to get. A lot there is a rare card in the set that is $40. Keep in mind, you get a rare in every pack. I guarantee you're supposed to get two, but actually there's a printing error with the English version of the game where there's a good handful of packs that only have one rare in them. There is a rare that is $40, even though you get 1 to 2 rares per pack. There are a lot of epics that are $100, and you need 3 copies of them. There are what else? There is a they printed an introductory box. So think like the Smash Palace. They printed effectively a Smash Palace, but decided to give it unique cards and underprinted it. So this $30 MSRP box goes for about $150 because there are cards that you need in it for the meta decks. And those cards only come in 2 copies, so you need 2 of the boxes to get a playset of 3 for these decks. So there is a card in the game that is more expensive to buy secondhand market than the box itself MSRP is for. Like 1 copy of this card that you need 3 of is $35, and the MSRP of this box is $30.
Yeah, that's
So yeah.
So it sounds like pricing's a little crazy right now, but it's I don't know. Like I've heard a lot of good things about the gameplay about it,
Yes.
and it's something that I know. Like I was like looking to get into and playing. I've heard a lot of good gameplay things. Do they have like an online client?
Kind of. But the last negative I'm going to get into really quick before we jump into that. The last negative is the competitive rules. They did not make first of all, they did not make a good rule book. Second of all, they encourage sharking in the game with the way that the missed triggers happen and penalties happen. And so those are the negatives is product availability and like the rules / competitive like judging ruling. But sorry, what was the question again?
Shoot, I
sorry, I wanted to cover that really quick, but
no, you're good. No, I'm just. Oh yeah, do they have an online client?
Oh yeah. So yes and no. They do not allow any online clients that automatically do the rules, if that makes sense. So like Talishar, how it automatically will it'll act out a card when you play it. Like you don't have to manually do things. Yeah. That is not allowed. They have sent cease and desist letters to multiple people for it, and so they've taken down websites that allow that. But you can play on Tabletop Simulator, obviously, and there's a website called TCG Arena that you can play on that doesn't automate anything. It's like it's the same thing as TTS, but it's like a 2D browser instead, which is actually pretty solid for testing. I haven't had a problem with that at all. I think I actually like it pretty well. It's just it doesn't automate the rules for you. So short answer no, long answer yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's just something like I want to try and I want to look into and I want to learn. But it's like definitely the product availability's been a problem. Like I got a couple packs and I have a few cards here. Like cool, fun. But outside of that, it's like I haven't been able to look. I haven't looked too much into it just because I don't have the product. And it's like maybe if like there was an online client, I might like look into that a little bit more. But outside of that, right now, it's just like I want to try it. I just don't have the cards.
Yeah, and that's what I'd say is just wait. They've said they're gonna print the first set into the ground. They're gonna do some reprints, a ton of reprints to make it very available to everybody. So I just would wait is my short answer. Unfortunately, I am not necessarily waiting. In 2 weeks, I am going to Orlando to play a tournament for it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm borrowing cards for it. I can't get cards myself. I can't justify paying the prices for them. But thankfully, some of my teammates for Flesh and Blood are getting to Riftbound as well, and some of them have play sets of the entire first set somehow. I don't know how they did it, but they have play sets of the first set, and so they can build multiple decks. And I'm basically just gonna be like, hey, what can I borrow, and just play that, whatever ends up being. But it's kind of cool because there's a lot of viable decks, and so I can play some of these decks and do just fine. It's not like there's a tier 0 format at all. But yeah, don't want to make this a Riftbound podcast, but the game is fun. It is good. I thought about trying to judge for it actually. I thought that'd be kind of an interesting angle to do,
Oh, okay.
but I passed like the first judge test, but I still don't know the rules that well because it's not good. The rule book's not made well. There's a lot of ambiguous questions. Um,
If only you had like a Josh Scott to like DM me, like, hey, help
exactly.
me out, please. Or
There,
just like a judge Discord.
there is well, that's the thing. There isn't a judge Discord. They said they'd make one, but they haven't made one yet. Oh, at there was a 10K tournament in Vegas. I think it was last weekend, and judges were making wrong calls on stream for it. It's that bad. Yeah.
Holy moly.
So there's a regional next week in Houston, and everyone's interested to see how that gets run, how bad the judging is there. But yeah. Anyway, the game's good. It's fun. I wouldn't recommend anybody like really try to get into it right now though, until the product availability gets better. Yeah, how was your Thanksgiving? On a different topic.
I guess, yeah, Thanksgiving. That happened a couple days ago. Oh, yeah, no, it was good. I went to both my families. So I went to my mom's in the mornings, my dad and I. It went fairly well.
Nice.
And watched a lot of football. That was cool. That was fun. The teams I think the teams I wanted to win won. Well, I wanted the Chiefs to lose, and they lost. So that was probably the biggest win of the day. But yeah, no, it was nice to be able to get with family. Like, I can't say there's anything too crazy. Like, the crazy fact was, like, I had Thanksgiving, and the next day I had to be into work at 5 a.m. to set up the front of the store outside when it was like 20 degrees out. So like
that's brutal.
Yeah, it actually went way better than I expected. But
yeah,
of course you're like up late, and then I have to be there at 5 a.m., which means I have to wake up at like 3:34 to get ready and drive all the way over there.
Yeah. That sucks. Well, but
that is also the reason the podcast's late, because I had to do all that.
Yeah. Jacob messaged me. I think it was like Wednesday. He was like, "Hey, by the way, I can't do Friday morning," and I was like, I don't know when I can do it." So
Yeah.
Saturday morning it is, and then or Saturday evening it is. I don't know why I said Saturday evening. Saturday morning would have been great for me. I don't know if it would have worked for you, but and then you messaged me last night, and I was like, "Oh, I'm a dumbass. Like I can't do Saturday evening. I have family in town. I'm going to my parents' house again." So we did this morning instead. But yeah, Thanksgiving was good for me. I had some family come in. My parents already live here by the airport, so it's like an hour round trip, and I was staying late on every night because we were like trying to play board games and stuff together. And so I got back at like 11:30 last night, so I'm a little tired this morning. But it was good. It was good seeing everybody and having good food.
Yeah. Thanksgiving is always like one of my favorite holidays, just to be able to get with family and spend time and do all the fun things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have a couple more things on here, but I don't feel the need to talk about them this week. I can talk about them next week, unless you have anything you want to talk about in this section.
No, I just did Flesh and Blood this week. Like I told you, I was like big on Flesh and Blood, so I don't actually have a lot outside of that other than looking into Riftbound.
I do have actually one more thing to talk about. I had my birthday party after last week's episode, where we played Blood in the Clock Tower. There were 16 of us total. I was a storyteller though, so there was 15 players, and it was a lot of fun. It went actually pretty well. I don't know, for those of you that don't know what Blood in the Clock Tower is, it is a social deduction game where there is a storyteller, who is me, and in this case there were 15 players. Some of them are evil, some of them are good. The evil team is trying to kill everybody basically, and the good team is trying to kill the demon on the evil team. They're trying to figure out who it is because everyone doesn't know. They're all hidden roles, and the good team's trying to figure out who the demon is and vote to kill them successfully during the day. And it was a lot of fun. Pretty much, I don't think there was anybody that said that they had any trouble with it, like, or that they didn't like it. I think everybody had a blast and were saying, like, asking when they can play next. So that was a lot of fun. That was really cool. There were some people that definitely did not quite understand how to play the game well. There was one guy that before the game started asked aloud, "What is a grimoire?" and pointed to the spy. And I was like, "You just outed yourself." Everybody knew he was the spy from the get-go, which is super
Yeah.
funny. And then he was like not even denying it. He's like, "Yeah, I'm the spy." I had to like pull him aside,
Yeah,
like,
it
by the
was
way, you should, even though people think you're the spy, you should just be denying it and helping your team. By the by the way, um, and then and then there was somebody that there was one of the minions pretended to be the monk, and the monk is a super powerful role, by the way, that who can protect
okay.
somebody.
Well, I want to say he was playing 4D chess
He
though.
was.
Oh my, he got me convinced that he like it was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, but it was so funny though because the monk successfully protected somebody the first night, and then after the fact he came out and claimed to be the monk, and the real monk just started laughing, and I was just like, oh no, that's not good for him. If he claimed any other role, he would have been in a much better spot. But because he claimed monk, and like the other monk basically had a confirmed save, it was a bit rough for him.
So it was wild because I was in the meeting with this guy, the minion who was claiming to be the monk, and we're talking. He's like, "Yeah, I'm the monk." Da 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 da. And he's like, and he defended me, so I like believed him so much. And then someone else walks in, and like he goes, "Guys, I know who the monk is. They saved someone last night." And all of a sudden, I'm like, "What just happened?" Because they hadn't talked all day. The minion that was claiming that they were the monk, but it defended me so well, and like I was the recluse, so I
Yeah.
was like and they defended me so well that everyone like believed I was a recluse the whole game. And I'm like, there's no way he'd defend me so much if he was evil, da 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 da, the way he was arguing. So like I'm like, what just happened? Like they're claiming they know the monk, you're claiming you're the monk, and like my mind was blown. And like I didn't even like my mind was so blown, I didn't even bring up this information till the next day. Like
Yeah.
because like I sat on it through the night, and then I go up to the guy who's like, I know who the monk is. I'm like, by the way, I hope you know this guy's claiming to be the monk. Like,
Yeah. That actually reminds me, there was something else really funny that happened. So, for those of you that know Blood and the Clock Tower really well, you'll appreciate this. But basically, there's a role called the Virgin, and the Virgin, whenever somebody nominates for a town vote, if a townsfolk nominates the Virgin, they immediately die. Like I quite literally like the moment they're like, I nominate so and so, I will be like, you die, and they'll be like, wait, what? And then they'll be like, oh, okay, so that person's the Virgin, and then now they're a good person. We know for sure they're good. Usually that's what happens in Building the Clock Tower. However, in the reality, the Virgin was a drunk. So whoever pointed to him and didn't die was going to have a lot of suspicion thrown on him because either they're an outsider or someone that's evil. However, the first person to nominate the Virgin was the demon. So even though so they were drunk, but even though they nominated, the Virgin doesn't know that they're the drunk, so it causes weird confusion. Thankfully, the Virgin was a newer player, so for some reason, this information just didn't get shared with the group until like 5 days later. Or there were some times where he was trying to bring it up to people and it just like got talked over, and so like, it just didn't get widely discussed. So the demon just kept surviving for longer and throughout way longer than he should have. It was so funny. The
oh
first
man,
round of the game, he basically got outed as an evil person. Although because the Virgin was drunk, it was supposed to throw suspicion on someone else, but it just didn't happen that way. The demon was the first person to nominate him.
it was an absolutely wild game. It was so cool. Like,
It was a lot of fun.
it was so much fun.
Yeah, I'm hoping to host another one sometime soon. I don't know when. I don't know when I'll have time or the opportunity to do it, but I definitely want to do it to host another one. Um, but yeah, anything else you want to talk about? I'm talked out.
No, like I totally forgot that that event was like right
Since the last
after our
one.
last podcast.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh yeah, it was like the same day, so like we must have talked about it. No, but it was an absolute blast. I had so much fun. It was so cool, and there's so many like really smart plays. Like I said, the minion that was claiming to be the monk, the way he came out and like defined himself, like I think a lot of people like when when it got outed that he was pretending to be the monk, like the room was still divided by like who actually supports him and thinks he's the monk and the other person's lying, or like it
Yeah.
was he got voted for like execution like 3 times.
Yeah.
And it was only the third time that he finally got executed with all
I
that
forgot.
information out.
Yeah, literally did like got vote. He was on the chopping block 3 times. It somehow just kind of didn't die the first 2 nights. I think it was like one time there was a tie. Another time everyone was like, "Wait, let's kill this person instead." So he just like
Yeah.
got out, got to stay alive for a while. Um, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Very good game. Highly recommend for anybody that wants to play. There actually are online ways to play it too. So you can definitely look into that. If you just Google Blood in the Clock Tower online, you can find ways to play it. Very fun game. Highly recommend it. But yeah, with that, I'm Cody.
And I'm Jacob.
And thanks for watching and listening.